Welcome to another week of Northwooods News. I'm Coy with Bushwood Tavern.
And I'm Carl with a K with Bushwood Tavern.
We got a few events going on this time of year, few and far in between, but there are a few things. Oak Fire Grill in Minocqua has Science on Tap, usually about once a month. And this week it is neuroplasticity, the amazing changing brain across the lifespan.
That's a big word. I don't
yes.
think you could do that.
So it helps you understand certain people and why they act the way they do.
I'm going to read your thoughts. Let's see now, you come here from a great distance?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't tell me!
That's Thursday at 6:30.
And let's see, at Ascension Lutheran Church, there's an art festival Friday and Saturday in Minocqua. Herbs and gathering basket weaving course in Boulder Junction also coming up. So both of those sound like a lot of fun. What do you think?
I think it does sound good. So we drilled a hole last week, as I mentioned, had 13 inches of ice. Not only is the ice gone, it was gone early yesterday already.
Really?
So how fast that changes.
Well, we got open water. I thought it was going to be a disaster, but here we are.
Did the mill pond theory come true?
Yes, it did. It did.
Right on schedule.
It does. It always never fails.
All right. Well, to see more about what we got coming up, let's go to Jason on the weather deck.
Oh, the wind, she is a-howling today. Another week of it. Snow, wind, cold. But relief is on the way. Looks like 60s for opening weekend of fishing. Cloudy. South wind should make for some good fishing. There'll be plenty of open water. Some of the big lakes like Tomahawk and Trout. Fence will probably still have some ice floating around. On the Facebook page that Bushwood has, we will have a link to Kurt's Island Sports Center fishing report that will be put up before the opener, and we're going to go to Guide Rob Manthei a little later, see what he has to say about the opener. And then over in Green Bay, their casting bite should remain solid, multi-species. Boy, the big smallies are moving in now, the big pike, they're just having all kinds of fun over there. And people maybe ask, why do we talk about Green Bay and some of these other places? We're promoting northern Wisconsin here, but a lot of people from here go over and fish Green Bay. There's Canadian quality fishing 3 hours away, and then you add in the Mississippi, the multi-species out of Ashland, the Lake Michigan salmon and trout. It's just world class within 3 hours of where we are here. And a lot of guys like to get out and enjoy that. The rivers ought to be good for a while with this cold, extended cold, everything being pushed back. Flood level stages though, so you're going to have to check on that before you go. We'll have more fishing reports as we can personally get out a little more, or at all. And we had some photos sent in. We have local fishing hero Matt Haney with a great steelhead from last week up in the UP. And the steelhead in the UP, they go a little longer than the ones in Lake Michigan, obviously being that far north on Lake Superior. And great fish, Matt. And then my buddy Corey Springle here with a big pre-spawn smallie. They're starting to show up, like I said earlier, in Green Bay, Sturgeon Bay, on the west shore. You can really get some tanks right now. While the walleyes are on the light side because they're post-spawn, man, you can really get some nice catch and release smallmouth bass fishing in over there. Back to the studio.
Hey, and there are a couple other events coming up. On May 20th, it happens to be my son's birthday, by the way, Trees for Tomorrow is having a learning nature photography. So that sounds like fun. You could take the kids and teach them how to take pictures of various things in nature. And that's what's going on. And you can check their site for more details. But that's May 20th, so keep that in your head. And then also, guess what? This is the weekend for the fish opener.
All right.
You going fishing?
No.
Why not?
No, I probably will, yes.
Throw a line out and make it say I went fishing.
Absolutely.
Okay. And that's this Saturday. Yay!
And Friday, we've got Cinco de Mayo. There'll certainly be events around there. And Saturday afternoon is the Kentucky Derby.
And they keep sprouting.
Yes!
Right. Step
Yes!
again, just the leader.
Yes!
Big tackle.
Yes!
Happening. Happening. Flashing home. Step again. Happening. Happening. And step again.
So, among other things, we'll have mint juleps on some type of special, and At least a few people I know are going to be dressing up for the race as
And
well.
the girls going to wear their hats and their fancy stuff.
That's right.
and all
That's
that.
right.
Hey,
So, speaking of the fishing opener, let's go to pro guide Rob Manthai and see what he has to say about it.
Hi everybody, my name's Rob Manthai. I'm up in St. Germain in the boat here getting prepped up for this opening weekend coming up here in a few days. I don't know if you can hear outside, but that wind's howling. We get a little bit of snow, but the next couple of days it's going to get nice weather. So the big thing coming up this weekend is obviously the Northern Wisconsin opener. You know, walleyes are going to be the main fish that people are going to be going after. I'm going to just show you what I like to do. So we're going to have two different methods that we're going to want to approach these walleyes with. You know, one way that I really like to fish them is just with a jig and a plastic. Paddle tail, this happens to be a Kitech paddle tail. I got it on. You can pick your jig head. This just happens to be a real nice jig head that I like, the Bait Rigs LS, long, stands for long shank. It's got a real good hook, takes up most of the body, and that's real important when you're fishing these plastics. But that is one of my favorite ways to actually fish walleyes. And they do, you know, it is amazing how effective plastics are, especially right in, you know, from opener on. But, you know, the tried and true everyday method that people are going to want to fish this weekend is just a plain old jig and a minnow. You can use any kind of jig head that you prefer. You know, this one might look a little different to some people, but this is a Bait Rigs jig also. It's called an oddball. It's kind of got a design set up for dead hooking a minnow. I don't have any minnows in my hand to show you how, but you can look it up. And I really like hooking minnows dead hook style. You know, one thing is they stay on the hook a lot longer. You can cast them further. And when a fish does actually pick up your jig and minnow, you don't have to wait to set the hook. It's just almost like using a plastic or it's an immediate hook set. And, you know, where are we going to fish these walleyes? So right now, as we speak, ice is going out on a lot of our lakes. We do have a lot of open water. The flowages are opening up. The mid-sized lakes on down to the small ones are open. Our particular lake, Big St. Germain, just opened up this morning completely. I don't think the real big deep lakes are going to be open. They're going to be close, but I don't think they're going to be open, so we won't talk about those. So if I'm heading out this weekend, I'm going to look for two different types of areas that I'm going to want to fish. I'm going to go and look at water temps on the smallest lakes that have been open for probably a week. You know, maybe some even a few more. And, you know, if the water temps are in the mid 40s, you know, or up, thinking maybe walleyes are done spawning. So I'm going to look for areas that are very close to their spawning grounds, you know, adjacent shorelines that would have gravel, or if they have wood, you know, that's even a bonus. You know, down wood along the shoreline, close to those areas of spawning grounds is what you want to look for.
you want me to go?
Would you?
Okay, that's great. Lots of, at Lakeland, a lot of sporting events happening over there. But things are changing on a daily basis because of the weather. So the best thing is to check their site to see where they're going to be playing baseball and track and so forth. And what do you got?
Pro sports, I mentioned in a previous episode, the Bruins set the record for the most wins and points in a season, and they are out already. So round one, they lost. Incidentally, the Celtics lost last night too. So the
Two best teams are out.
Boston knows how we feel with the Bucks right now. Also, last year's Stanley Cup champion, Colorado Avalanche, they're also out already in round one. So Brewers will have on Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. Mentioned the Kentucky Derby already.
Yeah, there's a lot of bars and restaurants that are reopening. Go to our Vilas, Bar Time Vilas for the information on that, who's going to be opening up. But we're in May, yay!
Things are happening.
Things are happening.
All right.
So,
Well, that's all we got for this time. We'll see you next week.
adios, my friends.